He told us, he who began a good work in us will what? Surely finish it. Today we're going to look at caring for the brain. Why the brain? Here we have a small caption that I borrowed from the Spirit of Prophecy. Just before we go further though, I'm going to offer a short word of prayer. Let us pray. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy most holy name. Lord, I pray that you fill me with your Spirit and help me to share your words clearly. Lord, I pray that all who will hear will heed the warnings. Lord, help us that we will know, not only hear, but also practice what we hear. Lord, may it be your words. Lord, please sanctify us and help us that we will be living sacrifices, holy and acceptable unto you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Just like Enoch did, we will be able, by God's grace, to mature into Christ's likeness. We'll be able to be settled in the truth. Now, nutrition. Nutrition. The mind is a part of us, of course, the mind. We saw earlier that all our faculties serve the mind. And so our mind needs to be properly nourished. Nutrition, water, sunlight, fresh air, exercise, temperance, rest, and trust in God. Nutrition. We'll spend a little time talking about nutrition. We'll just spend, a little time. The mind needs healthy fats. Just a few weeks ago, we enjoyed the pears. The Americans like to call them avocados. Yes, they're very delicious. They're rich, they're fat. It provides omega-3. There are some other things that do this as well. Oh, avocados. I'm going to share some of those things with you as well. Now, I have a scrumptious meal that my dear mother-in-law, my Aunt Ruby, prepared for us one Sabbath. This was my plate. This right here is not chicken. It's actually tofu. And tofu is very nutritious. It's loaded with protein. It's a cleaner fuel than meat, no matter how tasty. And when you cook this thing right, it's absolutely delicious. Now, avocados, walnuts, flaxseed, Brazilian nuts, cashews, all provide food for the brain. Vitamin B's and the B6, the happy vitamin, is very good. The vitamin B's can help you not to be as depressed as some of us may be. The B vitamins, they're very good. And also the sunshine. Sometimes we're dark persons, right? And sometimes we would say, I'm going to the sun, got me all get black. The sun is actually wonderful. It does really nice things for us. It promotes the death of bad cells. I saw one of the most beautiful ladies on LinkedIn. I couldn't believe somebody could be that dark. I did not believe.
Yeah.
I could not believe. I kid you not. This lady was really dark. Man, she was almost as dark as my shoes. I kid you not. And her teeth were white and beautiful. Man, God is so good. God is so good, I tell you. Young ladies, you know that God made you as an individual with your own expression of beauty. Don't allow anyone to tell you you are not beautiful. After all, you are made in the image of God. I tell you something. You know it. Even somebody who does not look attractive, be they male or female, but the female now. If they don't look so attractive in this moment, and someone of them, a female, sort them out, help them to do the hair, wash the face, exfoliate the face, put a little gloss on the lips, not lipsticks, but just, a little gloss, and put on a nice attire, and man, you would wonder if it was the same person. Now, young ladies, do know that you are valuable. You are precious. Man, we have a role to play. And ladies, do not tempt us. Do not tempt us. No, beauty is wonderful. No matter where it comes from. But the mind, this is what we're talking about. When the mind is beautiful, oh my, it is something. It is absolutely a delight. And so let us nourish the mind with good vitamins. Let us not forget the minerals. I mentioned vitamins, vitamin B's. The nuts and the seeds provide a sufficient amount of minerals. They're rich in minerals. And again, they're cleaner. They are cleaner fuel than meat. Alright, so let's keep a proper balance of carbohydrates. In fact, the body runs on carbohydrates. Complex carbohydrates. Protein and good fats must be supplied in our diet. Alright, and so if we can get our hands on some blueberries, do take advantage of them. But we have a nice fruit. I don't know if anyone studied it out, but the bakra, that's it, right? It's red and rich. I can just imagine how nutrient dense the bakra is. I want to learn more about it. But we know about the blueberries. It's rich in antioxidants. So we should consume them if we can. Green smoothies, the kale, maybe the callaloo. In every location, in every part of the world, God has blessed us with some kind of food, or fruits, or vegetable, or grain. We have to put them to use. Use them. Learn how to prepare them. And enjoy them. So, have a diet that is rich with berries, beets, and cherries, and all the other things that actually provide antioxidants. Now, there are things to avoid. These precious beans?
Coffee.
Yes, it's loaded with caffeine. Or friends in the States, especially those who are in the world, consume coffee a lot. They have it in drinks called cappuccino. Sounds very sweet and nice to taste. And, but it's a stimulant. the caffeine is a stimulant. I'm quite sure there's some good use for these beans. There's some good use for them. However, let us not take stimulants, because caffeine is a form of stimulant. And what stimulants do, they cause us to borrow tomorrow's energy. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. Tomorrow is filled with its own troubles. Let us use the energy, the strength that we have for today. Let us leave tomorrow's energy for tomorrow. So avoid the caffeine. You know, I must add, the cocoa, the heavy high, it also has a lot of caffeine, you know. It has a lot. But boy, isn't it delicious. You know, we have to ask the Lord to help us. Maybe we have to cultivate some carrot. You know, this one does not have as much caffeine. You know, we have to study these things out. Maybe we could make some postrum. Get those soya beans, parch them, ground them, and you will have a healthier version to these beans. Now, alcoholic beverages. We are to avoid these. Except, of course, we want to clean some windows. But we should not ingest them. Or if we want to do some other good use with them. But these should not go in our systems. They cause us to be intoxicated, drunk, lose our mind, cause us to go insane, at least for a little bit. It kills brain cells. We should avoid it. You know, some men drink beer. Beer normally have around 2 to 5% of alcohol. You know, where wine is more dangerous, or the rum, you know, it's a larger concentration, maybe 60, 70, 80% alcohol. You're drinking flammable substance. Are you a car? A vehicle? A plane? Why are you ingesting these things? Alcoholic beverages should be avoided. Don't take them to fit in. If you have friends and you happen to be with them, be that designated driver. Take them safe. Allow them to be preserved so that the message and the light that you will shine on them will be able to take effect. You know, stay away from alcoholic beverages, smoking. This is not for us, of course, smoking. But I will share, because sometimes the youths may be tempted. You know, they may see the boys, or the men, or the guys doing this with their hands. They're trying to make it really small so they can smoke and get the most out of these noxious fumes. Whether it be a cigarette, cigar, or a ganja spliff, it should not be smoked. There's good medicinal purposes for cannabis or ganja. However, you need to study out how to use this thing if you're going to use it. It's very dangerous. Many persons have completely lost their mind, unreversible in the natural sense. Don't touch it. Don't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Stay far. Stay far. Do not smoke. It's not cool. Not cool at all. If you are smoking, ask God to help you to stop smoking. Be a witness. Do not smoke. Avoid these. Here are some that I know many of you can identify with. highly processed foods. You know, things that actually go through a lot of process to get to where they are. Like things that contain highly refined foods. You know, some of these things that tantalize your taste buds, that dissolve in your mouth, are not good for us. They're loaded. You know, if you ever went to a posh restaurant and eat some of the foods that you normally eat, sometimes they drench them with all kinds of things. Maybe vodka, or maybe Jack Daniels, or maybe, what are these things? Corona. maybe some strange liquor. You understand what I'm saying, right? Some wine, some whiskey. And then you eat and you say, boy, is that good? You know, but those foods prepared, those look simple, are actually deleterious. They're dangerous. They should not be consumed. They're not fit for food. You know, another thing that is not fit for food, cheese. Study it out. You know, cheese made, like vegetarian cheese, the ones that are prepared, even those are not so good, but they're better. But cheese is very nice. When I ate it, I enjoyed it. It's very nice. But the cows are sick. The cows have diabetes. The cows have heart attacks. They have heart problems. They're sick with all kinds of things. You know what the pasteurizing process does? It helps to kill the bacteria in the milk. From the pus, from pumping the cow's breast. You know, they're not gentle with these cows. Oh, cow, I'm going to milk it. No, dear. When they do this to the cows, a lot of blood ends up in the milk. Plus, the cows are sick. And then we consume it in putrefied milk. Cheese. A cheese is good based on how old it is. That's how you tell if a cheese is good. When a cheese is fresh, it's not good. But it's better. Alright, so stay away from highly processed foods. Now, skipping breakfast. I know many of you can identify, but you want your brains to work highly efficient. So the breakfast is very important. Very, very important. It gives you the fuel for the day. And it must be of the best kind. Maybe some oatmeal porridge, or some cornmeal porridge, or some corn porridge, or some banana or plantain porridge. You know, or maybe you might have some breadfruit and some ackee. Not saltfish. But, you know, you can make your meal really nice. Even you can get some lessons from some of the senior ladies. And even the gentlemen who knows their way around the kitchen. You know, but don't skip the breakfast. It's very, very good. And if you make provision, no, you know, sometimes the excuse is, but I have to be at work such time. I went to bed late. Go to bed early, a little earlier. Wake up early. Sort out the breakfast. Maybe even prep the breakfast. You know, and be able to enjoy a nice meal in the morning. And care for your brain. Now, snacking between meals. I know many of us do this. And it's not that we're diabetic and the doctor gave us rights to do this. Some of us do this without any prescription. Just a call and a desire to enjoy something. Now, don't do this. Try to space your meals appropriately. Maybe 4.5 to 5 hours. Give the stomach a rest. You know, when you do this, the blood that is normally in your stomach to aid in digestion. By the way, when you're digesting, the actual process of digesting, out of the 12 systems in the body, it takes up the most energy. When you're digesting, the blood, a lot of blood goes from all of the organs and put in the brain and go down in the stomach, the duodenum, and aid in digestion. So when you are constantly eating, remember, we're not like cows. We don't have 4 stomachs. We have 1. And so we have to allow it to rest sometime if we want to care for our brain. This guy seemed like he has graham crackers. I don't know the white filling, but that seemed to be chocolate. Oh, it's marshmallows. Okay. The background is orange. Caution. Caution. Be careful here. Avoid that. Alright, so optimize brain function. We want to have sharp brains, better ability to learn, retain, and do what? Apply knowledge. Enhance your frontal lobe. Remember, after all, this is where we make our decisions to choose right or wrong. This is where God communicates with us. This is where we worship. No wonder the evil one gives so much assault and attack on the frontal lobe. How does he do it?